break the walls down. We're live.
We are certainly live. Welcome to the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast here on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast channel. I am Austin Pezel. I'll be taking over the hosting duties this evening. Jacob's off doing the funny stuff at the Comedy Chuckle Huts or wherever he's at, doing his thing. But I am not alone. I am not lonely tonight. JPO is with me. How's it going, JPO?
Doing just dandy. Good luck to Jacob. I never thought he'd have so many like race jokes, but hey, man, that's your kind of humor.
You know, it's like that and like cancer humor. I don't know what he's thinking, but if it works, it works.
It's really messed up, man.
Yeah, it's really strange, but maybe it's trendy. I don't know. But speaking of comedy, Richie Goodacre is here as well. How's it going, Richie?
I'm glad you said. Speaking of cancer, no.
Speaking of cancer, speaking of racists, Richie Goodacre is here. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's cracking. Good to be here. Just a bit of news. Not much news. Nothing happened in the world of wrestling lately, but we'll try to fit it in. We'll try to fit it. We'll try to squeeze it in a couple of hours.
Yeah, right. Why does everything happen the day after we go like off the air? You know?
Yeah, I felt like it's almost like it happens right after we're done. They're like, oh, we're gonna drop a bunch of shit.
Yeah. It couldn't happen like just a few days before. It's like, always right after. And then it's like, damn, we got to wait a while because it seems like forever ago this happened, even though it was just, 6 days ago? Something like that. But yeah, we've got things to talk about. We've got just a little bit of news. I joked with JP, I was like, good luck trying to recap or go back and figure out how many people altogether, were released because there was quite a few. It was a brand new kind of Black Friday, if you will, a bevy of new of WWE releases, a whole ton of future endeavors, if you will. But yeah, we shouldn't even waste too much time. We're not going to do fantasy this week. Jacob's got all the fantasy stuff. I'll just let him catch us up after Backlash and whatnot, and he could kind of get us caught up after that. But yeah, we can't really waste a whole lot of time. JPO, you're the release expert guy. I know you don't need to go into like everybody's Wikipedia page top to bottom, but I know you got quite a few names to throw out there, if you will. So you expand or however much you want on each person, however you feel like it. I'll leave that to your discretion, sir. But it's going to be a very JPO heavy show tonight with that and the predictions. So take it away, sir. I will just sort of steer the ship. But you bring the fire, sir. Yeah.
We also have even like side news too of the last batch. Remember, we're only a few months separated from the last batch of releases. Like the Good Brothers just announced they're returning to New Japan. They're teaming up with the Young Bucks very soon, and they're showing. I think it's in Canada. No, it's in California rather. Other people have Cedric Alexander's announced his return match. Isla Dawn, and others that can compete now whenever they want, if they want. AOP, Sonya, Blair Davenport, Alexa Lopez, and Giovanni Vinci. Indy Hartwell mentioned too. I thought this was a fun note. They were saying how she was able to beat Indy Hartwell in TNA, not her real name, but that's the name she's used on TV. And she said, "Yeah, they did own it, but then I asked, and they gave it to me." So it's just that maybe they're nice now. As long as you're not a dick, like maybe if you're,
the least we can do is just let you keep your own name. Maybe that's all right.
No, I thought that was nice. That was the story. She's like, I asked, and we worked it out, and cool. I'm now Indy Hartwell, officially in TNA. Several releases here. Some maybe surprising, some maybe not when you kind of dig a little bit into it here. Braun Strowman now is a 2-time release. A couple of these were 2-timers. A WWE OG had just returned. To forget, he was a big surprise the first time he was let go because he literally went from fighting for the title against Lashley at Backlash to being released less than a year later. So a very big steep fall for him here. Didn't do much on the indies. I heard he was super expensive, so only has like 11 credited outside of WWE matches for returning back in September of 2022, where he defeated Otis on SmackDown. His only singles match on any kind of PLE was at the November 22 Crown Jewel, where he defeated Omos. Anyone remember an Omos Braun match? I don't, but it happened.
Vaguely, I remember us being like, I think we were doing Lonely Marks at the time where we just started. And
I think so. I think at this point, yeah.
I think we were all like, this is going to be a train wreck. Let's see what happens here or something like that. And then also right soon after that was like the Seth Rollins almost match where we were like, good luck getting in the match out of this guy. That should be interesting.
Yeah, they tagged Seth with him for a little while there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost not on the list.
Yeah. I feel like he's just going to sort of be a special attraction. No, I feel like during after his first run, like Braun was just doing he was pretty much involved in the controlling narrative stuff with EC3, and it was just sort of.
I mean, barely, like, because again, that group barely got off the ground floor itself, so he was going to be one of their attractions, supposedly, if they had continued. But yeah, him and both Carrion were signed not too long after, so that also helped control your narrative.
You come back and you fight Otis, just like Rusev. Yeah, apparently. That's your go-to.
Yeah, they share that. There's a couple of fun book endings where like you'll hear like, the same name
either
like
that
twice.
or the Miz, like Aleister Black. You just fight the Miz. That's your first match. Yeah, weird.
Yeah, Braun's only Mania appearance would be him in a 2023 team with Ricochet. They were a team for a little while. They lost that 4-way to the Street Profits. More recently, he was feuding with Jacob Fatu. In fact, the last time he'll be on TV was that April 18th edition where him and LA Knight won the tag team match against them, against Jacob and Solo Sikoa. Some of the rumors were that maybe just his contract was kind of a top tier guy, and if they weren't really using him as a top tier guy, that might have been why. Because outside of that, he was still on TV a decent amount when he wasn't hurt, and that also might have been the two, I think, big reasons is injuries and age and the amount of money they were paying him and whatnot. Dakota Kai, another 2-time releaser here, has been wrestling since 2008. She's older than Adashio. She's older than me. I thought she was a young spring chicken. I thought she was in her 20s, early 30s. She's in her kind of mid to late 30s. She wasn't gone long from WWE. In fact, she wrestled 0 places outside of WWE. She was gone in April, but then was back of 2022, but back by SummerSlam. Remember, she had the big SummerSlam return. Of course, forming Damage Control. That's where she would win the women's tag team titles a couple different times. Her and Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah. Remember Aaliyah? At Crown Jewel of 2022. Her and Sky defeated Alexa Bliss and Asuka. That was the team, evidently. To win her second set of women's tag titles here. Damage Control had bad luck in Mania, though. They lost at 2023 and 2024. First time to Becky, Lita, and Trish, then to Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. Last time we saw on Raw, she defeated Ivy Nile back in March. So Dakota Kai, free agent now. Corey Jade, a lot of people surprised by that.
Damage Control is dead now, right? Basically.
I mean, you got to imagine. Asuka's when Asuka will come back.
And Kyrie.
I don't know Kyrie. Oh, is Kyrie hurt? Okay, so yeah. A lot of people surprised by Cora Jade. Seems to be like a kind of a CM Punk protege. She's been wrestling only since 2018. She's only 24 years old. She had a couple, she had a lot of GCW before she got signed. A little bit of TNA, a little bit of AW Dark. Got signed in January of 2021. Would win the NXT Women's Tag titles briefly with Roxanne Perez back in July. And last time we saw her was in the Send Deliver pre-show, where her and Roxanne lost to Gigi and Tatum. So we'll be talking about Gigi pretty soon here. I think Corey's got a lot of potential too. She also did announce she will start her OnlyFans in June.
So she'll be just fine then, because
she will make. Yeah, she's going to Mandy Rose where I'll be just fine. I think so.
Yeah.
Eddie Thorpe, a 2015 pro. He's a big New Japan guy, or at least I don't know about big New Japan, but he was in New Japan for quite a while. Again, did some AW Dark. Even won his match on AW Dark actually back in the day. Debuted February 2023 on Level Up, defeating Dante Chen. And again, only saw him a couple of weeks ago losing a 4-way to Ethan Page. So he was on TV up until these releases here. This is someone I had to Google to figure out or to pick a name to the face. Danny Palmer. Because at first I was like, wait, isn't she in TNA? No, it's Danny Luna. But this is Danny Palmer. She's a WWE. Well, yeah, god damn, I'm going to get to that. She was a WWE OG. First popping up on Level Up back in November of 2022, losing to Thea Hale. And then last time we saw her on Level Up was back in December, losing to Wendy Chu. And then she was on Revolve recently where she lost to Kylie Armstrong. So I think in this case, it's definitely got to just be she hasn't progressed, because if she was on Level Up back in 2022 and she's still doing Evolve, which is essentially Level Up, it just shows that they haven't progressed, unfortunately. That's kind of sad. They both got this.
They both got released. Yeah. Maybe hit the indies together. I guess maybe.
I guess. Yeah. I think they both got a lot of potential.
Kind of an update on the Danny Palmer thing. She actually after that she announced her retirement. legit. So
Oh, that's sad. So that also doesn't surprise me because again, this is somebody, as I said, was a WWE OG, so it's not necessarily somebody that had. I mean, obviously, I think it shows, in my opinion, that she didn't have that much of a passion. And she's like, "All right, I tried it. Nah, bye." So whatever. Now I'm glad they released her. Is that fucked up to say? Because I'm just, I'm sorry. Quit already. Whatever. Go away then. So much love to her. Gigi Dolan, another surprise, of course, formerly Priscilla Kelly, formerly dating Darby Allin. She's been wrestling since 2015. It's about 10 years in the game now. She would first pop up at the 2018 Mae Young Classic. Also, some AEW appearances, including a Dynamite match where she fought Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Made her WWE debut after Mae Young Classic at 205 Live. They were, which surely just meant they were just that became a B show at one point with whoever could come on here. Her and Cora lost to Candice and Indy here. Her and JC Jane won the NXT Women's Tag Titles at Halloween Havoc in 2021 when they defeated Io Sky and Zoe Stark in a ladder match. They would win the tag titles again when they defeated Dakota and Raquel. Last time we saw her on TV was back again recently in April. Her and Tatum lost to Liv and Raquel when they defended their women's tag titles on NXT television. And technically, her last match was actually at the TNA Rebellion pay per view. She was a part of that 4-way where they lost to Ash and Heather.
Also, a trivia about her: she's married to Zachary Wentz, so I guess he is probably on TNA.
Yeah, quite possibly. We're at that point now. We just saw, like I said, Indy Hardwell's there now, so they're still, I guess, willing to or able to take former WWE guys, even though they're working with WWE. So
Yeah,
it's kind of funny, I think now. Big body Javier Bernal, another guy that never, I think, really rose past that kind of first level of things. He's a WWE OG, been around since January of 2022, where he was on 205 Live, losing to Draco Anthony. Last time we saw him was again on Evolve, where he lost to Oro Mensa pretty recently, who I unfortunately will be talking about here in a second. Jakara Jackson, another one that some people were surprised by, because again, this was somebody that had kind of been teased on the main roster recently alongside Lacey Lane. Not Lacey Lane, Lace Legend, Lash Legend. There you go. Lacey Lane is another person I'll be talking about soon. She's been around since August of 2022 doing NXT house shows. Would prop up on Level Up a few months later in October of 2022. Again, last time we saw her was that TNA Rebellion show, but guess that tag team will be coming up. So again, women's tag teams are definitely kind of killed off here. All of Dallas. Yeah, no, not much left. All of Gallus unfortunately got released. Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang. Joe's been around since 2009. Started doing work with NXT back in 2018 when they came to England, doing some house shows. But in March of 2020, they were NXT UK full timers. Again, last time we saw them was on Evolve. They did get a win though. They defeated Jack Cartwheel, Cappuccino Jones, and Me Oasis, which is Jordan Oasis.
Maybe don't go to Evolve. It seems to be like a very
yeah, it really, obviously it has shown. I mean, there's a kind of a common denominator here, which is Evolve of going. They're kind of like your last stop before they go, and we're done with you. We gave up. We tried,
and
kind of thing.
It's not the last person you're going to read out who's got that connection.
Yeah, not at all here. Not at all. Yeah, still not done with Evolve shout-outs here. Caden Carter, 2016 Pro RPW alumni. Shout out to Caden. Maybe she'll return. Who knows? Probably not. It's probably too expensive. She would first pop up on the 2018 Mae Young Classic, where she defeated Vanessa Craven in the first round. Started doing house shows here. Her and Katana won the NXT Women's titles in August of 2022 in a 4-way. Would win the main roster tag titles when they defeated Chelsea Green and Piper Niven in December of 2023. Last time we saw them was again that women's kind of turmoil gauntlet match where Bailey and Lyra won to get the number one contendership a few weeks ago. Last time we saw them on TV, I thought it was kind of interesting. Never had a team name either. They never named them.
They just like to party. They're party girls.
They like to dance nicely at night. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, like, call them the Ravers or call them, I don't know. Katana Chance, who you may know as Casey Catanzaro, an American Ninja Warrior OG and / WWE OG here. First popping up in April 2018, doing house shows. She would go on to join the Mae Young Classic again with a win over Raquel Rodriguez in round one. She would leave the WWE in August of 2019 and not be back till January of 2020. Wasn't sure if the wrestling business was for her. She did decide to come back, and as I said, last time we saw them was in that turmoil match. Speaking of guys from Evolve, Keanu Carver, who I only knew from Evolve, I guess he was doing Level Up previously, has been on the book since November of 2023. So it's somebody that's been around for well over a year and a half, which I didn't even know. Last time he was winning on Evolve, though. So again, wins and losses don't necessarily help you. Him and Harlan Lewis defeated Swipe Right.
I
I
didn't even
mentioned
know
Mark
Keanu Carver
Coffey.
was on the list. I'm sad about that.
I learned about him later too. Yeah, I feel like he wasn't on the initial list that I read for sure, and then but now he's on the list that I saw several times. Mark Coffey, as mentioned before, Gallus guy, 2010, he's gone. Oro Mensah, who's another guy who's been around longer than I thought. 2012 made his pro debut, his NXT UK debut in April 2019. He would win the NXT UK tag titles, defeating Tyler Bate and Trent Seven in April of 2022. Part of Metaphor, along with the aforementioned Jakara Jackson. So now they're down to just Noam Dar and Lash Legend, although that was probably just done in general. Um, yeah, last time we saw him, Evolve, where he defeated Javier Bernal. I mentioned it earlier. So that match is completely gone now. Riley Osborne, 2016 pro, did some NXT UK work before popping up on Level Up in August of 2023. Member of Chase U, which they're kind of bringing back now, even though they released Duke and him, and she's doing something else. But it's like it's Chase U 2.0. And hey, guess where we last saw Riley Osborne? Evolve,
Evolve.
defeating Javier
Hey,
Bernal.
all right.
Javier Bernal putting two different people over on their way
Yeah.
out, too. All right, we're almost at the end here.
I know, it's like it took 12 minutes to go through all these names, but yeah, that's on WWE, man. They released them all in one day, so what are you gonna do? You gotta
Yeah,
recap.
it's almost like I just want to give them the shout out, give them their love. You know what I mean? 'Cause who knows
Oh
how
no,
much more we'll
100%.
talk
No,
about
no,
them.
I'm sure you. I mean, you've talked about them more than I'm sure some other people talked about it, giving them their credit. So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we got Shotzi Blackheart on the list here. Pro since 2014. She would pop up in December of 2019 on the house shows. Pretty quickly on TV, though, within the same month. She's on NXT TV with a loss to Bianca Belair. And then even after that, only being on TV for a month, she was one of the people that got into the 2020 Royal Rumble, which again kind of showed at the time somebody was high on her. Would also enter the 2021 Royal Rumble before making it to the main roster in July of 2021. Before that, though, she would win the NXT Women's Tag Titles with Ember Moon, defeating Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez. As I said, July 2021, she's on the main roster. Her and Tegan Knox defeated Natalia and Tamina. And last time we saw her was actually on Twitter, on Speed. She lost to Zoe Stark back in February. So she was somebody that mentioned, she did a video promo about how, she's excited and free and sick of waiting at home. And she's like, I feel like I've been at home far too much recently.
Well, it's worth noting she's one that she could show up whenever because they just let her contract lapse.
Yes, true. Yeah, I believe it's still sometime this month, so I don't know if we'll see her necessarily tomorrow, but it could be too. Like no one was able to pinpoint exactly when, but it did sound like hers will be sometime in May instead of in June. Wolfgang, the final member of Gallus, along with the pro of the group, 2003. Wolfgang's been around, so he's been released. Then finally, the last one we got here is Shayna Baszler. I got on our list here. 2015 pro debut. Only a couple years until she was in the Mae Young Classic, where she actually did really good at first Mae Young Classic. She made it all the way to the finals before losing to Kairi Sane in the finals here. They would pretty much immediately start putting her on NXT house shows after that. Somebody saying something?
No, I sorry, I burped on accident. My apologies.
Oh, okay, I know I heard something. Poor Shane. I'm trying to show Shane some respect.
I'm sorry.
In January of 2018, she made her TV debut for NXT, where she defeated Dakota Kai. At the April 2018 Takeover, she defeated Ember Moon to win her first NXT Women's title, and then at the Evolution pay-per-view that great first ever, so far last ever women's pay per view. Maybe we'll finally get it this year, but still at the moment the only one. In October 2018, she defeated Kairi Sane for her second NXT women's title. This would be the one that started her 416-day reign with the title, where she finally jobbed it out to Rhea Ripley. But yeah, very long title reign of Shayna's in NXT. She would then be in the 2020 Rumble. Let's see here. Her Raw debut was March of 2020, where she defeated Kairi Sane. She also then go on to win that Elimination Chamber. She is a former Chamber winner, Shayna Baszler. But then would lose to Becky come Mania 36, Night 1. At Payback 2020, her and Nia Jax, remember that team? They were pretty good. Defeated Bayley and Sasha for the women's tag titles. They would get their second reign as women's tag champs at the Royal Rumble kickoff of 2021. They changed the titles on the kickoff. They defeated Asuka and Charlotte. Let's see here. For her third set of women's tag titles, her and Ronda won them in a four-way of May 2023. Short reign, though, but a little over a month, where she then feuded with Ronda, where she defeated Ronda in her last
In
PLE
that
singles
horrible
match.
match. That horrible
Yeah,
match. Yeah.
I think that's why I noted her last singles PLE match,
Yeah.
too. She never got a singles match after that. And I thought that was going to, initially on paper, I was like, oh, this is going to be the thing that sets her up. But then it
But
wasn't,
wasn't she at the
at
last
all.
two Bloodsport events at WrestleMania weekend, right? Like she was one of
Yeah,
the ones
that
they
was,
farmed out for that?
yeah. Again, last time we saw her was in that tag gauntlet, losing to Bailey and Lyra, as I mentioned. But then technically, her last match on paper right now is the Bloodsport win against Konami during Mania weekend. That's her last match on the books at the moment.
What is interesting about that, if she did re-sign with the company last year, so that obviously like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's happened occasionally where, like, the time they'll resign and then, 6
But
months.
maybe, but re-sign could be like a 1-year extension. You know what I mean? And then just let it run
Yeah.
out. You know, it's like it doesn't mean.
Well, also,
Yeah,
even if it is more than
specify.
1 year, they always have in the back of their minds, like, we can sign you to it too, just in case we want to keep you. But
Right.
we can always fucking change that whenever we want, or release you rather. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't necessarily mean we sign you to a 2. You're sticking around for 2. You know?
Yeah. No, 100%. So no, thank you for taking all those notes, JP. I appreciate it. I know we're joking all week. There's a lot of
No,
notes.
big luck
written down.
to all of them
Yeah.
in their future endeavors.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
they're
see.
all pretty talented. I'm a big Dakota fan. I thought, Eddie Thorpe had potential. Jakara was getting better. I wasn't a big fan at first, but I definitely thought she was getting better. Cora, I thought always had the aura of a main roster person. Gigi, too, I thought was definitely going to get a tryout at some point. Yeah. So
Cora has the aura.
hopefully most of them continue.
Yeah,
she does. She's to me, she does have that kind of like, there's something about her. They put her on TV.
Cora aura. But
and the aura of Cora, yeah, she'll use that.
It is weird that most of them are like it's weird that a lot of them are women and what they clearly don't care about the women's tag division. I don't know. It's weird.
Just Malcolm asking if some of these, do you think they asked to be released, or if it was just they just didn't get their contracts picked up, or what, things like that. So I think some of them,
for the most part,
some of them commented about some of that, but we don't know the details of every single one. But a lot of them are.
For the most part, seem like releases.
Yeah, releases.
or not doing the contract. Yeah, one of the two. Like, as in WWE is the deciding factor. Right. I don't know if any one of them said like, "Yeah, I'm not re-signing myself."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I know. I guess that was the reason on the WWE front. There was a couple on the not releases, but people who left AEW. I don't know if you got that on the docket.
Oh, JBO, do you have that stuff about like the Righteous tag team and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I meant to put that on there, but no, I didn't. But I can look it up real quick. But yeah, Bobby Dutch or just Dutch again, Vincent Marsalia or just Vincent, if you will. So they seem to be in parted ways from ROH/AEW. I always thought it was weird too. Like they definitely seem to start them, and another one that kind of got stopped at the same time.
I remember like there was like a couple of weeks where they were popping up on Dynamite and Collision for like a few weeks, and then it just like stopped again. It was kind of weird. Like they were getting like little spots because I wasn't too familiar with them because I don't follow Ring of Honor too much. But yeah, I think they were even. I want to say JPO they were even They did when they last time Dynamite did in Asheville up here in January. I think they did a Ring of Honor match. I think so.
Yeah, they
was
were
the
more
first
in
time
Ring of
going around.
Honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were more in Ring of Honor recently. But don't forget too, they even kind of their biggest match was the 2-on-1 handicap match where they fought MJF at Wrestle Dream when Adam Cole got hurt as Better Than You Baby. That was their one and only pay per view appearance, which even then it was coming off of just having like 5 TV matches prior to then. And the last time on Dynamite we saw them was back. You have to go back to September, where they were just part of a gauntlet, which is like everybody.
Mhm.
And then before that, you got to go back to July to have them in a more, and then that's in a 4-way. So, like, you know what I mean? And then a multi-man match here. Yeah, more recently on Ring of Honor, they were on this month's TV in a win with the Premier Athletes, an 8-man tag win. But even before that, then you have to go back to December. So that's only 4 months without them being on TV. So, yeah, I don't know.
They put out a vignette thing on, I don't know, on their social media about them kind of maybe being underutilized. I don't know if WWE might pick them up. I don't know. They might be them being similar to the White family might hurt them. I don't know.
Yeah, unless they saw the potential to put him in there, yeah. Dutch is a former FCW guy. Actually, I remember seeing it
yeah,
at house shows and whatnot. So he is formerly a former developmental guy. Funny enough.
yeah. I do like them a lot though. So I don't know. Maybe you can pop into TNA a bit. He's got a really good boss man slam.
Yeah,
Also, he's a really. They also had briefly had
I mean
Stuart.
he's actually.
Yeah, you go. Sorry.
What's that?
I
What
said
did
they
you say?
also briefly had Stu Grayson in their faction, and then that just disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah, Ring of Honor is, and this is one of the reasons I don't watch it. Is it's very. I don't know if it's because of injuries, contracts, or just Tony's bad with like keeping track. Because like again, there's been so many start and stops. The Stu Grayson thing, he turns on them. Then all of a sudden, then I think they even had him return with Dark Order at one point, and then was gone again. Scorpio Skies returned twice. Ethan Page returned once before he finally left. Like, there's so many start and stops with Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Well, there you go. But guys, that wasn't the biggest news of the week. We all know the biggest news of the week was El Grande Americano winning the Speed Championship on Twitter. And he's your new Speed Champion, this newcomer rising in the ranks. El Grande Americano. Yeah, I'm just kidding. That wasn't the biggest.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
It did happen, but
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
happy
it's
about
right,
that.
yeah. I did enjoy Son Raw. Adam Pierce called Chad El Grande El Grande, and he turned around. He's like, oh, almost got caught out.
Well, well, Chad should have been like, "Where is he? He's here." He was smart.
I love that guy.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm a big fan. We have the same tattoo. I'm a fan. So, yeah, but no, I mean, just a few other minor. Yeah, that was kind of the biggest news of the week. Obviously, we've got some stuff added to the Beach Break show that's coming up, I believe, next week on Dynamite. I always thought it was weird though. We got this Beach Break show in Chicago. What? Shouldn't that be in like Florida?
I think they did it initially in Florida.
Yeah, that beach, Chicago synonymous for their beaches, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, in addition to Joe and Moxley in a cage, I believe, right? In a steel cage for the title. One of the weirdest match announcements this week just announced Ricochet versus Zach Gowen making his return to national TV the first time in 20 years. I swear this is real. It's a real thing. Just saw it. So, okay.
Fair
all
enough.
right. That's random, but all right. Yeah. Just announced this evening. So, okay. He was in front row for Collision. And then, now he's going to face Ricochet on Dynamite. So, okay.
Is that calendar in the area or something?
I maybe I don't know what it is, and then another match announced for that Hangman Page and Will Ospreay teaming up to face the Don Callis family with Takeshita and Josh Alexander. So that should be a fun match as
Makes
well.
a bit more sense.
Yeah, that makes more of a progressive sense than just throwing Zach Allen on television. But anyway, it's shaping up to be a pretty good Dynamite next week. But yeah, what else? What else you guys got? I know the releases were kind of the big news of the week, but any other tidbits you guys got?
I mean, JPO has, but I know like they've added stuff to Battleground and stuff. They got like Hendry and Trick at Battleground, which makes me think, because it's on Battleground, I reckon Trick's winning. Personally, for the TNA Championship, so I reckon Trick is winning the title. For the TNA, and in a random thing, which is kind of cool, a surprise. It's going to be Obafemi versus Miles Bourne from the No Quarter Catch Crew. For the I like when it's random. I don't mind. I don't mind surprises here and there. I was expecting it to be kind of like just obvious, like before it's now, like someone that was already up there. So you got to push these guys. So that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. You have anything else, JV? Or do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, no, just mentioning people coming up in TNA. Guess who returned to wrestling recently? Alicia Fox, Victoria Crawford, which is going under now. Yeah, I've looked her up. She has done 8 matches in the past year, so kind of making a slow comeback because she hasn't been active since 2019. She did a couple like Rumble appearances and whatnot, but hasn't been like actually wrestling on a semi basis since 2019. But she's back, and before she even has a televised match, she's getting a number one contenders match because or not even contenders matches. She is a number one contender rather. She'll be facing Masha Slamovich for the title. So he's a good title.
Contender matches in TNA, because remember when Ethan Page just was like, "I don't know, a contender for the TNA Championship." Because
at least he's like an NXT star. This is literally someone who I haven't done shit in 6 years. I'm a contender. Like, this is worse in my opinion.
I was a Divas champion at one point, and put a good Northern Lights suplex.
Liv Morgan though, her movie will wrap up probably not too long. She's not going to be there forever. They said she could be back as early as the May 19th edition, if not sometime early June, if they give her a little extra time or if there's reshoots or whatnot. So Liv Morgan won't be gone for too long. Like I said, worst case scenario, we'll probably see her back in June, if not even 2 Raws from now. Have you heard of?
Did you say May 19th? May 19th?
Yeah,
May 19th.
Oh no! Don't tell Kane.
That's okay.
That is the date of Raw, so yeah, maybe Kane will pop up.
No.
Richie, ever heard of Thekla?
Thekla. Oh, Thekla. 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 Yeah, only recently because of what you're about to say.
Yeah, Thekla just signed with AEW supposedly, so she's an Australian wrestler. So cool. I don't know anything about her, but it sounds like they're heavily into her.
She's got like a spider gimmick because they had a spider thingy on AEW. I don't know. They were kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know much about it. Unfortunately, probably should know more.
There's
about
rumors that Jeff Cobb will be in attendance backstage at Backlash. So he could be, and the rumor has it is he will be on the SmackDown brand, which makes me wonder if he will be doing something with Jacob Fatu.
Meaty men.
Yeah, teaming up or whatever, something or other. But yeah, there's rumors that he could even potentially make his debut at Backlash, which would be interesting in some kind of role. So that quickly, I mean, that'd be awesome. I like Jeff Cobb. Yeah. I would like to see a Jeff Cobb Bronson Reed tag team. That would be a fucking monstrous tag team. That would be great. So yeah. That's just a rumor right now. Nothing confirmed, but he's supposed to be at least backstage for Backlash. So his debut could be imminent in WWE. So
you think the crowd will pop though? Is he that much of a name?
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to be much of a name if he makes an impact. How many people knew about Jacob Fatu before he debuted, other than smart people? You know what I mean? Like, it's more about him just making an impact, and then you introduce him, after the fact. So I mean, the announcers could always say who it is, and then you fill in the gaps later, like with Jacob Fatu. Some people know, some people will pop. For some people know who Cobb is, but
yeah. I'm glad he's not going through NXT because he's like, he's still in his early 40s. Probably should and he's really good. So he probably doesn't need to go NXT. Just keep on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean he's 42. Yeah, I mean if you keep him in NXT for 2-3 years, he's gonna be 45. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be, yeah. I mean use him while you can. I would say for at least the next couple of years, while you can get some mileage out of him. But I mean, dude's still in great shape. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it if he debuts very soon. So we'll see. Maybe they had to make some room for Jeff Cobb, on the roster with some of the releases. It is what it is. And Aleister Black and all these guys.
Well, this is a good transition. He's got the body shape of a guy like Rhino. Speaking of Rhino, he was.
He showed up in Detroit to just do a 3-minute match where he lost.
Where he lost. But I think he's a dude who's been on. I don't know, guys. He's been in WWE, ECW, TNA, NW. He's wrestled for NWA. I think he's wrestled for like most major promotions. You'd be like, oh yeah.
And even NXT, because remember he was in
NXT.
Yeah,
he randomly showed
tagged,
up.
Yeah, he was there. He was tagging with Heath Slater for a while. So yeah, I mean he's been everywhere. So yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Room, but yeah, I mean, could have maybe I don't know. I would have had a longer match. Oh, hang on.
Holy God.
Yes, we know. JPO, any other tidbits you got? Anything else throwing around?
No.
Oh yeah. I forgot to. We didn't talk about. I mean this thing, but I think it's more of a formality.
I want to real quick. I want to go back to Rhino real quick.
Sure.
No, I just want to say he's in a very elite group. There's not too many that are in it that has literally wrestled for everybody now, that he possibly could, because he grabbed WCW matches in too, technically. So WCW, ECW, Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE, AEW. He's in that elite six that not many people can say they're in. It's a super small group. So yeah, no, I'm just saying, shout out to him. Even if it is his one and only match, still in an elite group that not many people are in, man. I can't even think who else could fit in that category.
Hoovy Guerrero?
No Ring of Honor.
No Ring of Honor, but
yeah. I mean the other five.
I'm just saying ECW, WWE, TNA.
Yeah, no, he's not the other five.
Yeah.
He had runs everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Christopher Daniels? Question mark?
Yes. Yes, he would count.
Because Christopher Daniels had like 2 or 3 matches in ECW. Mm-hmm. It was very brief, but he was there. Same with WCW. That last right.
He was about to get signed to WCW. You even see him in the background and be on the mat. He's done some WF stuff.
Yeah, he did. He's done some job stuff on TV and WWE for a little while when they were about to sign him, and then obviously AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, etc. So yeah, he's one of the few. There's not. I
don't know if you Nurse, did you hear me?
What's that?
I was saying Rhino joins a very elite class of somebody that can say they wrestled for literally everyone they could. WWE, he had WCW matches, ECW, Ring of Honor, TNA, and now AEW. He's done all 6. It's a very small group.
I wasn't sure about WCW, but yeah, I guess he has. Yeah.
He had some, again, not signed or anything, but he wrestled for him. Terry or whatever.
They just need Raven to wrestle an AEW match, just a one-off, and he could join that group as well.
There's a couple people if they had gone to that, Jerry Lynn, I think would have counted if he had gone to AEW. Sabu if he had wrestled.
Well, Sabu made that appearance.
Oh no, Sabu might not have done Ring of Honor. Sabu also never did Ring of Honor.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple like that. Yeah, if they had gotten a little bit quicker to AEW.
If Terry Funk had thrown one AEW match at the very beginning or something like that,
I think he was done. I think he was done.
I think he was done. I'm just saying if he had, because he's the one who's been worked for everybody.
Yeah, he's another journey one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a few of those here and there. Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, I mean, Raven could take it off, but I don't think he can move that well. Last time I saw him in MLW.
No, I know he was attempting a comeback a year or 2 ago, and then it went bad again. And for stuff outside of his own controlling now, so I'm pretty safe to say I think he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah, Funk was done by 2017.
Okay, so you just missed it though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So yeah,
I'm
there's a few of those
surprised.
guys. Yeah, a
I'm.
few of those guys.
I don't know if they count for everybody because I don't think they Ring of Honor thing. But Rock and Roll Express, I'm surprised never did a TNA match or AEW match rather. AEW.
Yeah, they keep getting beat up on AEW. They just haven't done
They're
an
not
actual
well,
match
true.
yet.
Yeah,
Like it's right. It's like
they
the
have
only
a
times
tag
they
match.
gotten beaten up, they haven't just had an official match yet. You know, to like step in the ring
Yeah.
with somebody. Like they can still go. We've seen them work for other promotions. Like they can still have
Well, and
matches.
yeah, and especially like when they the first time they got attacked, we're going back like 2-3 years, so like probably even better then.
Yeah, how have they not have had a match with FTR? Like at this point, as many times FTR like turns on them. How do you not at least have a collision match? Maybe not like I'm not saying they have to have a 20-30 minute match, but at least
No.
5-6 minute match. Something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Ricky Morton's been wrestling for so long, and now his son is an active wrestler alongside.
Yep.
Like,
Another father-son tag team. Yeah.
Like a very lower level, like LeBron and Bronny James. Like you've been in the sport for so long. That's your kid gets old enough to wrestle. But yeah, I don't know. You'd think they'd have have somewhat match, but I don't know. I thought Ricky Morton said that he was going to step back, but then he hasn't. So I don't know. Maybe you can still have a match.
They definitely announced their last match ever at least 2024. So, and they're still wrestling 2025 is what I'm saying. Like they've teased it before. I think they're such old school people where I bet you they had their last match planned and then somebody offered them a good payday that they can ignore and they're like, well, fuck it. All right.
CM Punk almost fits that bill except for WCW, like almost. And
and to be fair, I wouldn't count ECW Sci-Fi. When I say ECW, I mean
what do you mean?
ECW.
Come on, ECW Sci-Fi didn't count. Come on, sure
I
it does.
would. In this accolade, I wouldn't count it.
All right, that's
basically we're just in WWE. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shannon Moore is not an ECW alumni in my opinion either. Fucking Zack Ryder's not a real ECW alumni.
Yeah, right. No, I hear you.
Yoshitatsu. All right, I'm done now.
But I mean, well, again, King of Saber. I mean, we don't. There's not much news, but it's cool to see that Monty Brown was on. It was, that was the first time I've seen. Like,
the guy's alive. He's done conventions.
but it's cool. I haven't seen a recent photo of Monty Brown in a while. So
okay.
Yeah,
I've seen it here and there. He doesn't do a shit ton. He does not do a shit ton, but like I've seen him at a convention here and there and whatnot. I feel like he was at WrestleCon either this year or last year. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll talk about in the chat how he's like underrated and stuff. It was funny. I was like, he's underrated.
I don't even think he's underrated. I think he was underused almost for what could have been. You know what I mean? There was a time in TNA he was over enough, like legitimately, to put the strap on him.
Did we miss the obvious one by the way of Chris Jericho?
No, well, okay. Again, if you count the new Ring of Honor, then yeah.
He's in new Ring of Honor. Wouldn't that count?
So,
he's a Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah, it is this. Yeah, I mean, I kind of again want to almost caveat it, but yes.
Technically, yes.
Oh wait, no, TNA. He's never done TNA.
Yeah, that's right. No TNA. So yeah, because I was thinking about the other ones.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
No, he did the Journeyman stuff originally, ECW to WCW to WWF, but then after WWF, it's only been AEW and now Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You could have almost apparently, according to him, they were trying to work something out, just never worked out. But you could have almost counted Mick Foley in that because I think he was trying to work out something with MJF, and he's like, no, my body's too.
Again, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Yeah, I don't know how close that was. No, he even. I don't know if we ever got the update on that. By the way, like I know we had talked about it initially that he was like gearing up for like a deathmatch return because he thought it was a good way to motivate him to get in shape. He enough doctors told him to fucking stop. So he's not coming back, unfortunately. To do a death match or to do any match. It sounds like so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well,
But
all right. Well, and if I mean, there's a few guys that are almost there, but they're missing like one piece,
Well, that's
they,
what makes it such a fun elite club. Yeah, there's plenty that
yeah,
did, multiple,
4 out of 5
but
or 5 out of 6,
you got to be a
yeah,
perfect age. Like for instance, everyone that we just mentioned is that same probably like 40, 50, 55 ish category. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like Rhino,
right.
Daniels are all in the same age
You
because
had to be
you
like
can't be too
starting
old.
out. You had to be starting
Yeah,
out like very young in like the very late '90s. That
right,
very like or early 2000s, like '99, 2000,
right.
2001. You had to be like starting out then and get an opportunity, in one of those promotions right then and there, and that had to be like right in that
And
sweet spot.
kind of
Yeah,
be a journeyman too, because like there are other people that have been around. Like Edge and Christian could have maybe fit that time frame, but they were in WWF for so long. They never
right.
touched TNA. Well, Christian touched TNA, but Edge never touched TNA. Neither one of them. Oh, Christian did touch Ring of Christian.
Christian
No,
was in TNA.
WCW.
Christian
He's a
Christian was in
WWF
Ring of
guy.
Honor. He was not in WCW. He was in Ring of Honor though.
WCW,
Yeah,
yeah. I was
yeah,
just trying
yeah,
to think for a second. Like
was
Christian's another one that's close, but he was
yeah.
a WWF guy for so long that there's no WCW.
Right.
yeah, Edge was a jobber as Sex from Hardcastle, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but then no Ring of Honor, no TNA. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like Hawk and Animal, like did the first three, like the ECW, WWF, WCW, but and TNA technically, but like they were never around for Ring of Honor or
Yeah.
AEW, obviously, definitely not AEW.
Yeah.
But they came out more. You know what I mean, though. I'm just saying you have to be that right kind of like age to where, yeah, you know what I mean. Like you probably were at the most like debuting in like the early '90s,
Right. Yeah.
Hang on.
X Pac,
I'm just trying to think. RBD?
ECW. Um.
No.
Oh, hold on.
RVD was never in Ring of Honor.
I think Ring of Honor screws him. Yeah.
Ah,
No Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
hard
he
to
is
believe
supposed
that
to.
at some point or another he just never even did like a one-off match in Ring of Honor. It seems like he would have at some point, but he just never did. Like even just
I
like a
know he's
one-off.
always been slightly expensive, so it might just be one of those things of like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's another one that's like one-off, like really close, and just he could
yeah.
have.
Because
Yeah, I mean,
he had those
things he could
WCW
have.
ones.
Yeah,
Obviously that one. Obviously TNA World Champ there, and now the AEW. Yeah.
and AEW, yeah, he's doing much
even
right now.
MLW.
He's
Yeah.
done a few.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, but all right, no, it's a fun little what if game to play. One thing here and there. But yeah, if you guys don't have much else, we can move on to some predictions. Yeah,
Sure, I'm
I
gonna pull that
believe
up
so.
here for you.
Stick with the
That's
JPO
another.
train. Yeah, there you
Hey,
go.
it's
Another
another
fiver.
short one here. Another
Yeah,
fiver. We only got
yeah.
five so far. Don't know
All
if
right. Oh yeah,
SmackDown will
just
tack
get my
on another one,
gotta
but
get my paper
probably
here
not.
and then write them down here. Jacob did send his predictions in our private chat, so I can jot those down. Unfortunately, I have to say right off the top, probably going to be a fairly predictable pay per view. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
it's
it as we
almost
go along, but yeah, it is what it is.
There's a couple that might like really distinguish like the pack, but even then
Yeah,
it might still be like a tie between at least a couple of us. So we'll see.
yeah, right.
But yeah, Backlash coming Saturday, May the 10th, 7 Eastern. First off on my docket here, we got for the IC strap, Dominic Penta. He has no fear, this guy. What you thinking, Richie?
Yeah. God, I'm just can I just that's a great mode. And what a dirty mode, Dominus. God, right there. That is. Anyway, I think it's too early to take the title of Dom. It's getting over and he's starting to like the guy. Like his work. Penta will get the title probably eventually. He's fantastic. It's just not the time yet. I'm actually surprised. I didn't expect this match to be honest. I don't know on this card, but glad I'm getting it. So I'll go Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna kind of say what I'm probably gonna say later on for the other mid card title. Spoiler: it's got to be too soon, right? And especially for the pop he got. Like the only other reality I see is like maybe to get Finn heat. Finn screws him. Maybe if you want to jump to that, but probably not. I just think this is it's unfortunately. I think for me, and I hope WWE proves me wrong, maybe like a predictable backlash because you got to have a pay per view. It's a month after Mania, so we're gonna do a lot of kind of like this is a semi rematch of Mania, and it's something to do. It might be a good match too. Actually, I look forward to seeing what Dominic can do one on one. But I gotta think it's way too soon to take the title off him, Pez. So
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't go against the grain here. Even though Penta, a win here would be good for my fantasy, obviously, with Penta on my roster. But I mean, I do think you will get that win, in the next 2 or 3 months. I think Penta you can still have him be strong here. Yeah, you can have some shenanigans with the Judgment Day.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean, and screw out Penta out of the thing. So where it's not clean. JD,
I
you
could
know, even if
also
he's been,
see
you can JD
El
McDonough
Grande
avoid him.
maybe fucking him too.
El
El
Grande,
Grande.
yeah,
I
they
feel
could
like
set
they're
some.
very much teasing Penta and Phoenix soon.
Yeah, and they could do that down the line at that AAA show or whatever, something to
Yeah.
that degree. So yeah,
And we're not that far from it. We're a month
right.
away, so
That's what I mean.
that
Yeah,
ball
if you
could be
set it up
rolling. Yeah.
and hit that as one of the higher matches for that AAA thing, and throw that out there, give Pitt a big high profile match there. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I'll stick with Dom here. That he some dirty tactics, dirty Dom to escape with the title here. Yeah, he'll get out of there.
Look at that.
Yeah, that mustache, man.
Look at that. Look at
thing.
that stash.
Yeah.
We got the women's Intercontinental title on the line. Lyra Valkyria taking on Becky Lynch. I know Barbara in the chat stole my idea. I think Becky might take it. And the other reason I'm saying that too is as I'm going through my predictions, I'm going, we got no title changes in my opinion. Do we go clean sweep retains?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Lyra to lose it because I'm a big firm believer personally in a booking philosophy of having Lyra win will set her up. Well, if Becky Lynch is going to do what? She's already a multi-time world champ Hall of Famer. Does she need the title? But I think they're going to give it to her. So I'm going to say Becky takes it, Bez.
Well, I think I'm going to agree with you only because I think you could have Becky take it here, and it won't be, I don't think, the only time they face off, and you could have Lyra chase the title, you know what I mean? As the baby face, you could have her try to work her way back up and chase it for a little bit. Becky just hang on. It's not like Becky's winning the world title, you know what I mean, that quickly. It's the undercard women's title here, and she can hang on to it and just do that and tool around with some other workers, have Lyra work her way back up. So I think Lyra will get it back. Maybe they can even stretch it out to like that Evolve show. You know what I mean? If they end up doing that Women's Evolution show, or not Evolve, Women's Evolution, show again. I'm just saying you can run this back in that Evolution show. You know what I mean? And that could even be one of the undercard matches there. So I'll say Becky picks that. And like you said, if we don't have a title change here, I mean, not to spoil the rest of the predictions, but like, do we just have a straight run of just retentions? That's not very exciting. You got to have something like that happen.
All right, Richie.
Yeah, I haven't really been a huge fan of the build to this, just because it feels like, because I feel like the Intercontinental title should mainly also just be for like the ones that come up, and obviously Becky Lynch is established, and I just feel like Lyra might just be kind of I feel like she kind of might be the one out in a feud that's going to be set up with Bayley and Becky, and she's just going to be sort of there. She's sort of like the third wheel in this kind of. I feel like she's going to be the third wheel in this feud that's coming up. But I don't know if they're going to go to a triple threat. But it just feels like they're mainly focusing on for the future of Becky and Bayley, and Lyra's just there. But I'd like Lyra to win, but I don't think that's happening. So I'll go Becky. But I do hope that it's not just a title to push the people who already don't need pushes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We might need some tiebreakers, y'all.
Yeah, we'll have to. I think we know. I think it's pretty obvious what the actual main event is going to be. So that's not we'll have to predict like openers and times and whatever. We'll have to come up with some stuff. For this whole thing. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Do we need to discuss this one?
Jesus Christ. Well, we
go through it quickly.
We'll go through
our thoughts on the match and whatnot, Pez.
I've put forth that I think this match should literally be like pretty much a squash match. I think Gunther needs to go in there and just take like 90% of this match and like beat the shit out of Pat. Like he's a former world champion. He's on this pissed off like streak right now where he's just choking everybody out. If he doesn't just obliterate Pat in this match, I'll be very surprised. I don't think this thing needs to go like a 50-50, Pat making the comeback and doing this, that, the other. Like it needs to be a beating because I think they're going to write off Pat off TV for a little bit, I think is what the idea is. So if that's the case, Gunther needs to look really, really strong here. But yeah, obviously I'm going with Gunther.
Richie.
Yeah, I thought this was like I thought this was going to be on Saturday's main event, which is weird that they're probably going to put this on Backlash and put like a Logan Paul and Jey Uso on Saturday's main event. It seems like, um, but yeah, I kind of had the same sort of feeling about the match as I feel like Pat McAfee get a few hope spots in there where it's like, oh yeah, well, maybe you could do it, but no, I think Gunther will largely take control and destroy him to sort of build him back up. Also, maybe build him up for somebody that that JP doesn't want me to mention. But yeah. Somebody else.
No.
It's on the
Hey, 'cause
horizon.
It's happening.
I can only see him coming out maybe afterwards, but like you
Yeah.
don't need him to help. Like
No, he
unless
doesn't need
Pat
to help.
wins, no.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to help
Also,
Pat win. But that match is happening. You're just going to have to let it happen, Jake. It's the Gunther and Goldberg's going to happen. And
I'm less angry now because I was afraid they were gonna make that a Mania match. Like so, if it's a fucking Saudi match, whatever.
Well,
And also, I'll be
it's
and
not for the
Gunther better
title
win
either.
too.
It's not for the title either.
Right, so I'm
Yeah,
like constantly less and less mad at it.
right.
Like if it's a non-title mid card, Gunther better win on Saudi, I'll be okay.
it's probably going to be
If it
Goldberg's last
was
match.
a world title
Yeah.
Mania match, I'd be pissed. And if
Well,
Goldberg wins, I'll be
Goldberg will
pissed.
get his Saudi payday of $1 million or whatever they'll give him. You know what I mean, to do it, and then he'll take the loss. Like look, I would lose in exchange for $1 million. I don't know about you guys, but I would lose in exchange for that much money. Jesus Christ, good God Almighty! Yeah,
I'd lose. I'd
way
$10,
less than
you
that.
know?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, $20 in a handshake. Yeah,
yeah.
The stuff I can't say it. No, the stuff I can't say on the stream that I do for $1 million. But yeah, Gunther's going to destroy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is the cover for the new Terminator movie. This is the new Terminator coming after Arnold. Have you seen this kid? Gunther is the TX-1000. Yeah, no, I mean clean sweep here. Yeah, I feel like maybe that might be a good. Oh, Pez, good tiebreaker. How long this goes? Maybe
Yeah, no,
might be a
that
good
actually could
tiebreaker.
be. Yeah, let's do that right now.
Because
So,
like I think
is
it'll be
it
longer. But what do
Price
you
is
think?
Right style, like closest without going
Yeah,
over kind of a thing? Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's go
Pez.
around the horn and put. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go very long. I don't think it's gonna be like a minute, but I also don't think it's. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say 4 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm gonna say it doesn't go that long.
Any Richie?
I'm going to go a bit longer. I'm going to go 6:40.
Okay.
7.5.
7:30. Okay.
I feel like it might even go longer than that, to be honest with you. Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's going to be a 60-30. 60-30, that's bad math. A 60-40, 70-30 match. I think Pat's going to have his I won't die yet and like jump off something, and do this, that, or the
You get
other.
choked out.
And then,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but regardless, we all do agree Gunther coming out on top. Hey, remember last month in Mania was a 4-way for the IC? Now it's a 4-way for the US. Jacob Fatu makes his first defense, PLE wise, against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. Richie.
Yeah, anyone think it was heel? It's just a Damian Priest just attacked Drew McIntyre like for I don't know. It seemed like for no reason. You lost your match at WrestleMania, kind of fair, and then you still got unfinished business with him. I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. Kind of makes you a bit of a dick.
No, I would disagree in that unlike Cody, Damian isn't a pussy and isn't just gonna take it, and not do anything about it. he's gonna fight back when he has a chance to. He's gonna take a cheap shot. He's gonna take a cheap shot against the asshole. Cody, on the other hand, just takes the nut shots and just won't do anything about it. Like sorry, I don't mind a baby face that doesn't put up with shit. You know what I mean? Like from the bigger asshole. I'm fine with that.
Part of me was thinking, oh man, are they doing? Because I thought maybe like down the line, this would be a way to take the title off Jacob Fatu without getting him pinned, but didn't think they'd do a 4-way. Not this early though. Not a 4-way this early, especially to like a guy that's already had the title for quite a while. So. Yeah, I gave Jacob retaining because it's too early. Like if they did a 4-way maybe 4 or 5 months from now, I'd be like, maybe. But yeah, no, I think Jacob's got to win here. And yeah.
No, super similar to Dominic. I just can't see a world where people like Jacob winning last month. That was last month. And it's a 4-way here. So again, if this was like SummerSlam or even at least a couple months from now, okay, maybe they're gonna give it to Drew and he can pin Priest or whatever. But it's too damn soon to take it off Jacob. Pez.
No, unfortunately, yeah. This is again, we're going to be sweeping a lot of this, but it just is what it is. A lot of predictable matches, but yeah, Jacob just won it. Crowd's into him right now. He's hot. Yeah, and unfortunately, I think LA Knight might be there to eat the pin. Unfortunately, in this one, it just is what it is. But I would like to see some more. I can see some one-on-one matches coming out of this. Yeah, I'd like to see Fatu just like one-on-one with Drew or one-on-one with Damian. Those can be some nice mean guy matches that I look forward to. Maybe we get a taste of that here.
Yes, indeed. So that's a clean sweep. Fatu. We're down to the wire, baby. Here we got our one last time in billing this as John Cena, Randy Orton. It's Randy Orton's hometown. Does that make a difference?
No.
What you thinking, Pez?
Absolutely not. Sorry, Cena is not dropping this bad boy right after he won it. He's at least hanging on to this thing for the majority of the year, I would think. Yeah, Orton will get the nice reception. It's a nice dynamic. Now I mean it's one last time, but at least the dynamics are switched with the heel in the face here, so it's at least something different than what we've seen. But yeah, Cena is not dropping this title. This is the one I if I had to go almost 100% for anything on this show, I go 100% that Cena retains.
Richie, let's say Barber. He's not here. Richie.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that we're having this match. It was one of those ones that was easy to predict that they were going to wrestle, because of their history. And it's cool that the dynamics change. I'm looking forward to the match, see how it transpires. But yeah, you kind of seen a lose this early. I don't think he'll lose until like way later in the year, and to probably maybe to like a younger guy. I don't know, maybe like a CM Punk or something like that. So yeah, look, I'd love Randy Orton to win the title at some point, but just not. He won't be here.
I think he will get one more at least brief run with it and get that 15 to even it out. You know what I mean? I think they will do that at some point before he retires, but not here.
Yeah.
But, what do you think, JPO?
JPO, what do you think?
What do you think?
There's no chance Randy Orton's coming out the champ. Hopefully they bring out a little bit more of a sinister match than we saw in Cena and Cody. But we're even more than Jacob and Dominic. This is going to be a long-term storytelling. Even if it's long-term to the point of at least SummerSlam, it's not going to be 1 month. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this is a Backlash ender with Randy going, "Cool, we did it. That was easy." So yeah, Cena's got.
It's his last time.
Oh yeah, well, we know they don't. That necessarily doesn't mean shit either. I was there once in a lifetime with The Rock, and it happened the very next year.
We can do one other prediction. I do think, I mean, Cena and Orton obviously is the main event, but like I do think there's several candidates for opening match here, so we could at least get to those.
Okay, yeah, let me look. Okay,
you got Dom and Penta, you got Lyra, Becky, Pat Gunther, and the 4-way, and I think you can make an argument for almost any one of those being the open. So do we want to predict at least the opening match as well? What kicks off the show?
Sure.
Yeah. So, Richie.
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of hard to think any one of them could. I will go just because he's like I think he'll get the crowd going. I'll go Gunther Pat McAfee.
Yeah, JPO.
I have no fear with Dominic versus Penta.
Okay, and you know what? I'll just be different. I'll say the 4-way. I'll say the 4-way opens the show, and nice. Fun kind of 4-way to kick off the show. So, well, I'll be different at least in that. So, all right, sounds good to me. And I think any one of those could legitimately you can make an argument for to get the crowd going. So,
yeah, but here's the fun part. It's gonna be Lyra and Becky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
watch it be like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Becky's music is the first thing you hear. Is the
like,
yeah, for sure. So there we go. Yeah, that's the news. We got our backlash prediction. It didn't take very long. Yeah, another fiver. Triple H likes his fiver PLEs. So it is what it is. Looking forward to all those video packages. Can't wait.
So I'm guessing by that logic, because I thought maybe like Jay Uso and Logan Paul, Saturday main event, I guess.
I would assume so. Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
yeah. Because I don't think they've announced much outside of that, right? Or what they? I'm sure they've got other matches they can. Like
maybe Tiffany and Nia Jax, which they're leaning towards.
Tiffany and Nia, I think, is going to be a Saturday Night's Main Event. I heard that somewhere that's what they're going for that, which makes sense. And yeah, we could see. I don't know what else could be thrown out there. Maybe a tag time, maybe something with the New Day. I can imagine on Saturday Night's Main Event.
Maybe they'll rematch with the War Raiders on that.
Rematch with the War Raiders on main event. Yeah, I could see that. Maybe even I could see even just a showcase either Rusev or Aleister Black maybe having a match. On Saturday Night's Main Event, just something. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah. But all right. What do you guys want to do now? You want to play some games? Have a little fun?
Yeah.
What do you think? All right, we can play some games. So, we decided, King of the Movie Mountain was so successful. We're gonna not exactly, but we're gonna do something similar. We're gonna take that idea and run with it to a degree. JPO's got a version that's similar to his picks and lists that he does over on the Pierce Go. That maybe we could try that out, and then I've got a version that's similar to what Jordan did, but with a more concise time limit and point system, that won't drag on and on and on, I promise. So what would you like to do first? You want to do JPO's version first or my version first? I'll put it to you guys. What do you think? Since it's two of us, you're the odd man out. So Richie, what would you like to try first? I'll let you decide, Richie.
Let's go Pez's version and then go.
Fuck you.
Best to last. Best to
You think the best for last. Okay. All right. So my version of this game, and again, it's not going to drag on forever because I have a system in the way we're going to do it. What it'll do is I have a theme in mind or a connection between all the wrestlers that are on this list. I will go back and forth just between the two of you guys. So you feel free to write down the things I say yes to. If you want to write down the no's, you can do that as well. But what we're going to do is it'll be similar in what JPO is talking about in that you can win the game by locking in. So if you think you know the thing and you want to say lock and try to guess the theme, you can do so. But if you are incorrect, it will cost you a point. And how you get points is if you guys correctly say one of the wrestlers that is on the list, I will give you a point. So you will rack up points as you go. But then obviously if you want to lock, you can win the game automatically. But we will only do this for 5 minutes. So it'll be a 5-minute limit. So this will not drag on and on and on. I will keep an eye on the clock, tell you guys to go so you can bounce back and forth. Obviously, the quicker you guys go. Give me a second to make sure, confirm and whatnot, but we'll go as fast as we possibly can. And then at the end of the 5 minutes, if nobody has guessed it, I'll give you one final guess. If you happen to guess it on the last one, I'll give you 5 bonus points, and we'll see who wins based on point totals if nobody locks in, before the time is up. Does that make sense? And we just kind of go back and forth. So I'll cross them off. So I will give you a hint so that this doesn't go all over the place, all over the rails.
Okay.
This is a WWE theme, so it is WWE centric. So you don't have to guess AEW, WCW, not all over the place. This is a WWE centric theme, and it involves both men and women. I will say that. A common theme. So, and it's one concise theme. All these wrestlers have one thing in common. So everybody understand how it works. You get a point for every correct answer. And then I will do a 5-minute time limit. So get as many as you can in 5 minutes. If you think you know what the thing is, at any point you can say lock and give me what you think it is. But if you're incorrect about your guess, I will dock you a point. Okay? That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so should I just flip a coin, or do you guys just want to pick who goes first? Because it doesn't really matter. All right, JPO, you want to go first? We're about 10 seconds away from the 109 mark. So once we hit that 109 mark, I'll just time it to the 114 mark for the 5 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, go ahead, JPO.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is a yes. That is a correct answer. Richie.
CM Punk.
I didn't hear. Oh, I said you were on a delay. CM Punk is a no. JPO.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold is a yes. That is a point. Richie.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart is a yes. That is a point. Richie. JPO.
Lex Luger.
Lex Luger is a point. Yes.
Lock.
JPO. Lock.
Wow.
Guessing already. JPO.
Do I say it? I'm sorry.
You locked, so give me your guess.
Oh, Rumble winners.
Correct. That was an easy one to start out with. Yes. Correct. Royal Rumble winners. That is a nice, easy one to start out with to ease into the game. But yes, I had a full list of everybody. Yes, Bret Hart, Lex Luger counted the co-winners.
I was going to try to go really like specific, like Big John Stud. But all right.
Yeah,
let me go.
I would have got that if you did that.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. That's why I didn't want to do it.
So yeah, I started out with a nice, easy one just to ease us into it. Yes, I obviously had the women on here as well. If you had gone that route with the women,
yeah, that helped too because I was like, oh, chicks.
Yeah.
They both do.
So there you go. So yeah, we'll move on to a different one this time, but same concept in principle. But we will switch gears here. This will be a WCW centric theme. So a WCW centric, so you don't have to again bounce all over the place with this one. You guys know what you're kind of aiming for, but same rules apply. So this is a WCW centric connection here. So all right, same thing. We got about 10 seconds till the 111 mark, so I'll do that, and then we'll go to 116 if necessary. But all right, I'll count you down. But Richie will go first. 3, 2, 1. WCW theme, go. Richie.
Booker T.
Booker T is incorrect. JPO.
You said no?
No.
Hardcore hack.
No. Richie.
Okay.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner's a no. JPO.
Kevin Nash.
Kevin Nash is no. Richie.
Rey Mysterio.
Mysterio, no. JPO.
Prince Ikea.
No. Richie.
Disco Inferno.
No. JPO.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is a yes. First correct answer. Okay. Mark that off. Richie.
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit is a yes. Yes to Richie.
Lock.
JPO. Lock.
Lock.
All right.
Is it Four Horsemen?
That is correct. Yes. We were going for Four Horsemen. Yes, Ric Flair. Only 2 in, and JPO takes a chance and gets it. Yes, whole list of people here, even all the alternate horsemen. Yeah, you got the Anderson brothers, Tully Blanchard, J.J. Dillon, Lex Luger, Barry Windham, Kendall Windham, Butch Reed, Sting, Sid Vicious, Paul Roma, Brian Pillman. Yeah, he was an alternate at one point, just for a little while. Rest in peace, Steve Mongo McMichael. Little Jeff Jarrett was kind of a temporary horseman. Kurt Hennig was temporary. Dean Malenko. So yeah, a bunch of those guys. So there you go. Again,
my spot.
Again, we're just playing around.
Liver spot, my spot.
Okay, not terribly difficult. I'm just throwing these out for our first time. Go at the game, so we can get a little deeper later on. I do have one more. This one probably won't be terribly difficult, but you guys can guess here. But again, this one will switch back to WWE centric here, and then this involves both men and women. So we will go back to JPO. So let's see, we're coming up on, I'll go with the 15-second mark, and then I'll do the timer here. So let's go 3, 2, 1, JPO.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is a no. Richie.
Ooh.
CM Punk.
CM Punk, yes. Correct. JPO.
John Morrison.
John Morrison, no. Richie.
I think I knew we were going there.
I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan, yes. Another point for Richie. 2 points. JPO.
Adam Cole.
No. Richie.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes is a no. JPO.
Okay, Mark Henry.
Mark Henry, no. Richie.
Edge.
Yes. Point for Richie.
Christian.
Christian is a no. Richie.
Rob Van Dam.
RVD, yes. Another point to Richie. 4 points. So
Lock.
no. JPO locking in, even though he doesn't have any points. Go Rich. Go JPO.
Money in the Bank winners.
Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank is correct. Yes,
Yeah.
is your theme for this one. Yeah,
Oh
again,
yeah,
I
we gotta
didn't
quit
go super
ignoring
deep.
women. We're very sexist.
Yeah, you're ignoring the women, but yes, Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan, CM Punk, Edge, RVD, all Money in the Bank. Obviously, I got the greater list. Drew McIntyre recently. Damien
I'm slowly
Priest,
not. I'm
Big
like
E,
East Simeon Sci-Fi
Theory.
chant. No, World
Yeah.
Heavyweight chant.
Yeah,
No, I
I
see.
mean,
No, that can't be it.
go all the way back. Yeah, Kane, Jack Swagger, Alberto Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler. The list goes on and on. But yeah, so again, I didn't go super deep for these original ones just to kind of get a feel for how this game would work in my version. So I just went with fairly obvious stuff. Your Money in the Banks, your factions, things like that. So that's what I got. I just did those three and then wrote them all out. So JPO, if you like, we can switch to yours and have a little fun. If
Okay.
you like.
Well,
So, yeah,
now that I know what you're doing, actually, the
Yes.
first round, I can stick to what you're doing. That's fine.
Oh, okay. You want to do something similar to what I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I get what you're giving a theme, right? My afraid that was just let's say I did like Company A, and you guys just kept naming AEW people, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was afraid it would just be too wacky.
Well, I didn't want it to
Narrow
be
down.
like, yeah, you guys are naming the wackiest people. I wanted to at least keep it to a company for now, and then we could get deeper later. So I didn't want to go too off the rails.
All right, WWE/WWF.
Okay, so and there's a connection.
Whoever.
For all these. Yeah. Okay. Richie, you can go first if you want to. So, yeah.
All right. Shawn Michaels.
No.
Undertaker.
Oh, how long are you giving? How long do you want me to give?
Like I said, 5-minute limit seems good for two people. You know what I mean? So it doesn't go too long. Yeah, 5 minutes.
And Undertaker, if that was said, that was a no.
Taker, no. Okay.
Triple H.
That is a yes.
Okay. Stone Cold.
That is a yes.
Okay.
The Rock.
That is a no.
John Cena.
No.
No. Okay.
Randy Orton.
No.
Hulk Hogan.
No.
Bret Hart.
Yes.
I don't know. Jeff Hardy.
No.
Okay.
Lock.
Richie?
King of the Ring winners.
These are King of the Ring winners, yes. Don
okay.
Morocco, Harley Race, Macho Man, Ted DiBiase Sr., Tito Santana. Those are the old ones before the pay-per-view. And then, Owen Hart, Mabel, Shamrock, Billy Gunn, Angle, Edge, Lesnar. And then after that, Booker, Regal, Sheamus, Bad News Barrett, King Corbin, Xavier Woods, and Gunther.
All right. Nice.
All right, same category.
So it's just more WWE. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll start things off this time.
I'll help you. I'll help you with this one. WWF.
Okay. WWF. Okay. So we're going backwards.
Yeah, that way you know to go even farther. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just start out simple and go Hulk Hogan.
No.
Okay.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No.
Vince McMahon.
No.
The Rock.
No.
Owen Hart.
No.
Triple H.
No.
Yokozuna.
No.
Lex Luger.
No.
British Bulldog.
No. I might have gone harder than you.
Okay, no, fine. We got to go deeper for this one. All right, go ahead, Richie. Let's go deeper.
Savio Vega.
Yes.
Okay. Crash Holly.
No.
Savio Vega. What is Savio Vega going to be? Farouk.
No.
Crush.
No.
Okay.
Tatanka.
No.
The Mountie.
No.
Anyone Savio Vega?
Oh, we got one so far. We're doing great.
Savio Vega. I know.
Oh my God, just name somebody. We're on the clock.
Oh, no. Oh God. You said Undertaker yet?
No.
Yeah, the answer's still no.
Okay.
Maybe that was before. That might have been before.
But anyways, he says
Yeah, but still no.
Rikishi.
No.
Randy Savage.
No.
D'Lo Brown.
No.
Val Venus.
No.
The Godfather.
Yes.
Hey. Okay.
Making progress.
All right.
Okay. God. Alcoholic.
Yes.
All right. Kurt Angle.
No.
Okay.
Al Snow.
No.
Big Boss Man.
No.
Perry Saturn.
No.
Scotty Too Hottie.
No.
Grandmaster Sexay.
No.
Razor Ramon.
No.
Rhino.
No.
Diesel.
No.
X-Pac.
No.
Jesus Christ. Ken Shamrock.
No.
Goldust.
No.
Ahmed Johnson.
No.
Man,
Fuck me.
God, Test.
No.
Billy Gunn.
No.
Road Dog.
No.
Lethal Weapon Steve Blackman.
Yes.
Hey.
What the fuck is Steve Blackman and Savio Vega?
The Godfather.
I'm the Godfather.
And Hardcore Holly.
Holly?
Yes. I know.
The fuck? Shane McMahon.
No.
Midian.
No.
William Regal.
No.
Draws.
Yes.
Mm.
More confused by the minute.
I get penalized, but I can still guess, right?
Sure, we're having fun. I don't think we're
Lock.
rules yet.
They all had like
Alright.
5 different gimmicks.
No.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
I mean, maybe, but like that's not what I'm looking for, and
Okay.
not what the rest of the list is.
Sure. No, I understand.
I don't think draws did technically. Puke draws.
Puke.
I don't know.
Did we clarify? Is this just men?
No, but yes.
Hmm. Oh my god. I'm running out of mid card. Gangrel?
No, final guesses, and then I'll just do what I was going to do anyway.
Bradshaw.
Yes.
Lock.
What did you say?
Bradshaw's in and he locked.
Brawl.
For all.
Fucking
There we go. That was a good one, actually.
All right, that's a good one.
So,
Okay.
Mark Marrow, Henry
Mark
Godwin,
Marrow,
Brockus,
Steve,
Hawk of Road
Dr.
Warrior,
Dr. Death.
Dr. Death,
Mark
Bart Gunn. A couple times you guys said they're partners. I was like,
Okay, yeah. I almost guessed Mark Gunn. I was like, shit. Okay.
Quebecer Pierre, PCO, Dan Severn, 8-Ball, not Skull, but 8-Ball, and Scorpio.
All right. Okay. Fuck, that's a random list of people. But yeah, that's right. They were all in that stupid brawl for all. Yeah, that almost killed people.
This next one's a short one, so I'm gonna do it my way because I think.
Okay. So yeah, it might depend on like how many are in the list. Yeah, if we do it one way or the other way. Yeah, but so the way you're gonna do is you're gonna start at the bottom and name things and work your way up.
I randomize it.
Okay, but you're gonna like say something, give us like 10 seconds, say something, give us 10 seconds, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I'll say a name and then I'll give you guys a few seconds to mull it over and lock it in. If not, I'll go.
Right. I'm gonna write them down.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
The first name is Taz.
All right. 1 Z or 2 Z.
Shoot your shot. You can shoot your shot and lock it now. Just say something he's done. Your next one is Chris Jericho.
Look.
What?
Is this FTW champions?
Yeah, damn, the randomizer screwed me. Hook, Sabu, Brian Cage, Jack Perry, Ricky Starks. Only 7 people.
Okay. Nice. No, that's a good idea, though. Yeah, I like it. All right.
Alrighty. The last one I think I have is we got to go to. Do I say it? I guess I got to say it. Ring of Honor.
Oh boy, this should be interesting. All right, which way are you doing?
What do you mean?
Are you saying it or are we saying it?
Oh, you guys say it.
Okay, so Ring of Honor. Okay. All right. Richie, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right, go ahead, Richie.
Roderick Strong.
I'm going to say no.
Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Okay.
Nigel McGuinness.
Yes.
Claudio Castagnoli.
No.
Lee Moriarty.
Yes.
Jack Evans.
No.
Look, are these ROH Pure champions?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Right up.
Those are the only few I had this week. I wasn't sure how many we were going to do.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, I could try to look up some shit really quick, and we could do the same thing. You know, if you can find out there's things, you know, there's definitely things you can like do if you can like, you know, run a list really quick. But yeah. All right. Let's see. I think I might have an idea, so I can try to maybe look it up real quick. Let's see. All right. Oh, that would take too long. Never mind. Oopsies. Yeah, but I mean, I guess you can go into even like more specific themes. You can be like, people who main evented this particular pay-per-view, you know what I mean? Or like, people who did this, that, or the other. You can get like super specific, with certain things with that category, not just like people who held this title or, this prestigious thing or whatever. Yeah, I almost went to that, but I just wanted to test the waters a little bit. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is how that game kind of should be played.
I got one. I mean, hopefully you won't. I got one.
You got one? Okay, me and Jeffy. All right. Which way you want to do it? We say or you say?
You say it, and I'll.
Okay. Is there anything to narrow
category,
down?
please?
Yeah, category.
Give us something.
I'll make it WWF.
WWF. Okay.
So just WWF. Okay.
WWF and yeah, WWF. Yeah, WWF. Sorry, yeah.
F and E or just F?
WWF and E. I'll say that.
All right.
And can we also just for the beginning, all guys, girls?
All guys.
All guys. All right. Okay. All right, JP, you can go first.
Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Owen Hart.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. Bret Hart.
No.
Okay.
Diesel.
No.
Okay. British Bulldog.
Yes.
Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
Minion.
Yes.
Lock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
European champs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
That's why I had to check because it was in the B for a couple months.
Okay.
It did help. That actually did help because I'm like, okay, it's on the cusp probably. The way you know what I mean. That's why if you heard ever before when I was giving you guys an answer, see, like when I went no, because I had to think about it for a second. Like I know it's not Crash Holly, but I was like, is Farouk in it? No, Farouk's not. All right, Pez or Richie, go. I got one.
Yeah, I'll go first one.
Okay. All right, so
I'm sorry. WWF, WWE dudes.
Okay. Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Hogan.
No.
CM Punk.
Yes.
Taker.
No.
Bret Hart.
No.
John Cena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Randy Orton.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre.
No.
Seth Rollins.
No.
Rey Mysterio.
No.
Roman Reigns.
No.
Brock Lesnar.
No. No.
Kurt Angle.
No.
Braun Strowman.
No.
Chris Jericho.
No.
Edge.
Yes.
Mark Henry.
Yes.
Christian.
No.
Look. Wrestlers who have faced Undertaker at Mania.
I mean, once I say what I'm about to say, you'll probably give it away. No. Specifics. I need it. Different wording.
Lock.
Yes.
Wrestlers who
Yes.
have lost to Taker at Mania?
I guess I can accept that. The streak. Yeah, it's the streak.
Okay.
Okay,
So, like, I personally wasn't counting. That's why I said no to Roman, for instance.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
A-Train, Batista, Big Show, Bossman, Diesel, Giant Gonzalez, Jake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka. I don't know if anyone said Kane, King Kong Bundy, Ric Flair, Psycho Sid, Triple H. Yeah, I was just trying to do the streak.
All right. All right. Okie dokie. So there you go. Nice. So there's like certain titles where it's like there haven't been enough, you know? Like if you did the Speed Championship, there's
We gotta
only
find the
4.
sweet spot.
You know, it's like Ricochet, Andrade, Dragon League, Grande. I wonder.
If anyone said Grande, we can figure it out right away.
Yeah, right.
That's his only title.
As of like yesterday.
Lock.
Yeah, lock. But yeah, so no, I think we can wrap it up for now. But yeah, we could keep this in the pocket. You know,
yeah, this is the same thing with the ABC game. It's a good
pocket. Yeah, you know, we need to want to kill 20 30 minutes at the end of the show. Yeah, we could do a couple of rounds, this, that, or the other. But yeah, that's the quick way to play it with a little time limit, you know, a little something like that. Just have a concise theme, you know, with a nice list in front of you. You know
what's also fun about it? I didn't send you guys in the back for 25 minutes and then brought you on screen for 3
just go back and forth. Yeah,
send you in the back again.
Yeah, and even if Jacob is here, just go in a circle, 3 people, boom, boom, boom.
No,
boom,
three would have been just as good. Oh yeah, 3, 4, even
yeah, you could do a whole
7, 8. I don't know.
Yeah, as long as everybody's just here, we play around. But yeah, that's and you can do either way, depending on the topic. So however you want to throw it out there. So no, that works. I like it. So yeah, we'll keep that in the pocket. We can whip that out every now and then. But yeah, other than that, we'll keep it to a shorter show tonight since we've had a couple of 2.5, 3 hour ones the last couple of weeks, if I recall. So maybe we'll keep it nice and concise tonight. Yeah, as far as next week, obviously we will review Backlash, go through those 5 matches. And yeah, apparently Jacob wants to play some Jeopardy next week. Speaking of games as well, so maybe we'll play some Jeopardy right after Backlash review, so we can play another game.
Would that be leading to when's Double or Nothing? Is that prediction? Is that
Double or Nothing is the 25th, so that means we will do predictions on the 22nd, so the week after that.
2 episodes from now,
yeah. Next week will just be Backlash review and Jeopardy, and then we will do Double or Nothing predictions and something else. So we'll figure it out. Yep. So yeah, but yeah, we do have Double or Nothing on the horizon. It is coming, and then I believe after that. What is that? Is that Clash of Paris thing in June or July, something like that? Is that the next PLE?
Or Clash of Paris.
Yeah, what's the next PLE after Backlash?
I mean, you got Battleground with NXT, and then you got.
July 19th is Money in the Bank. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, not Champions.
Bank. So we've got. Saturday Night's Main Event, Battleground, When Worlds Collide, and Money in the Bank, both on June 7th. June 7th.
Oh, yeah, they're both the same day. That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, actually, not that far off. So that would literally be like we would review Double or Nothing, and then the week after we'd be doing predictions for Money in the Bank. So yeah, we're not. We got a couple of rapid fire ones coming up, and then there's another Saturday Night's Main Event, and then SummerSlam is okay. SummerSlam is first week of August. Clash in Paris the last week of August. So they'll have a little bit of a gap there between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So, which makes sense, build up to SummerSlam. So yeah, we got some things on the horizon. We're working some other random stuff here and there. I think we've all got stuff in the bank, so we can all just kind of rotate, just doing stuff. We'll figure it out. Do another draft. We can always go back to JPO's rank 'em stuff too. We got more women. We could do 2010s women's, which we still haven't done. We could even start the tag team one, whatever you want to, JPO, and mix it up a little bit. We got a few of those. We could always go back to. So we've always got some things to go on. We'll kind of start wrapping it up from there. Richie, what you got going on? Anything you want to throw out there?
I got going on I'm on the Wrestling Tribute tournament. I'm going to be facing Nico Rigoli here coming up soon. I think so check that out. I believe Yeah, I believe tomorrow, right? Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe
So
the way it worked out, he's the first match of the tournament. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So check that out, and yeah. Other than that, tournament fights if you come up there. Yeah, it's tournament fights here, Anchor, all that jazz. We just recorded did a wheel of music before this. We did Reservoir Dogs, fun time. Yeah. Stay tuned as to what we'll be
Do
talking
you
about
think that's
next.
the best debated movie history? Oh no, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I know, we talked about that on the show. Like, funny enough, no, I mean, because it was just a funny irony that, like, yeah, we did that on that debate, and then like we already had Reservoir Dogs scheduled for Wheel of Movies. So that was just a fun coincidence. Yeah, so we talked about that scene, and I was more on the show, JPO, asking Richie about tipping culture in Australia. If it's similar to like Europe, where they don't do the tipping thing like at all, as opposed to us.
Yeah.
It's just like not a thing.
No,
Yeah, so yeah.
so yeah. But yeah, other than that, like yeah, I'll pop up here and there on other stuff. Long time, first time. I pop up on from time to time. And yeah, pretty
Cool.
much.
Sounds good. JPO, you got a lot going on. You got lots of tournaments and yeah, ASA, you got long time, first time. You got all kinds of shit going on, man.
You
What
know,
do you run down?
you know how I roll. Now that we're about to finally end this movie
You got to
tournament,
start another one all
means
over and
I
over
gotta
again.
start the wrestling one.
That's
But
right.
here's the silver lining. Once I'm done with that wrestling one, I can start the movie tag one, and then once I'm done with the movie tag
Yes.
one, I start the wrestling tag one. It never ends. But that's also my fault. I'm the one
Hey,
who did it that way.
speaking of the movie tag one, I'm going to be in the market for a new partner this year. So, because, yeah.
Hey, look
So
forward.
anyone else is tagged to me.
This
So,
tournament's way smaller than the ASAT tournament, so
yeah.
start thinking in about a month from now, like
Okay.
looking out for a partner because I'll be putting that feeler out probably the next couple of months. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, doing those tournaments, like I said. So the movie ones over on the Pierce Go, all the wrestling ones over on Pierce Wrestling Channel here. You'll find other podcasts and matches and exclusive stuff here. Also sometimes Movie Hero Network as well, multiplex, all that jazz. Jazz hands.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you can mostly find me over on the Movie Hero Network. Yeah, we got a Facebook group for that where I plug Lonely Marks and everything else in there. Yeah, hosting and co-hosting tournament fights in Tier Ranker. I'll be hosting my own tournament fight next week, talking about documentaries. We're all going to be submitting some of our favorite documentaries. So that should be just a fun, just yapping about fun documentaries. So yeah, that'll be good. Monthly Mistake this weekend. Mega Movie Z talking the Final Destination for our drink along. So the worst of the series in honor of the new one coming out. So we'll be doing that. Yeah, not too much outside of that. Not next week, but the week after, I'll be live for Monday Night Raw on the 19th. So that'll be like, kind of post Backlash, but pre Saturday night's main event. So maybe there'll be some stuff going on. I don't know. That'll be the go home show before Saturday night's main event. So maybe they'll do some interesting things. We'll see. But yeah, that'll be my girl's her first time going to see WWE live. So she's very much looking forward to that. She's been a fan her whole life. So yeah, even just going to Raw in general should be a lot of fun. But yeah, so that's all I got going on. We'll wrap it up there for you guys. So yeah, well, Jacob should be back next week. And we'll talk a little Backlash. And apparently he wants to play a little Jeopardy, so we'll play a little Jeopardy between the three of us as he hosts. That should be fun. We'll play more games and shenanigans next week. So all right, but that'll do it for tonight here on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. We'll wrap it up there. So for Richie Goodacre, for JPO, we love you, Barbara. We'll see you next week. I am Austin Pez Howell, and we will see you guys next time.